Meet the American grandmothers who travel the country fighting to reunite illegal immigrant. An advocacy group formed by a group of grandmothers known as Grannies Responds had one clear message for President Donald Trump's administration as they finally touched down in Texas: enough is enough. The group of bubbly grandmothers, which also contains a bevy of concerned grandpas, aunts and uncles, was formed by a couple of grandmothers in the upstate New York town of Beacon, about 60 miles north of New York City, that were worried about inhuman treatment that undocumented immigrants were being subjected to. So a massive caravan with 6 different starting points in as many states was organized just a few weeks ago, and it kicked off with a rally in New York City on July 31st. The 30-person caravan left New York and hit the road for its final destination, the border town of McAllen, TX, where one of the many immigration detention centers is holding up families separated by immigration officials that have followed Trump's strict anti-immigration policies. At some point the cruelty, the insensibility against kids and families has got to stop, said Carolina Clary, one of the many grandmothers that participated in the protests, during an interview with Univision. It has got to stop. Someone needs to protest. The caravan gained steam during its planned 6-day drive, with a wide range of rallies held in different towns along the way to McAllen, site of the country's largest immigration facility, where for months kids and parents have been separated in cages similar to those that would keep a pair of WWE wrestlers locked up in. By Monday, the grassroots campaign Build 24 Hours of Action and Service was underway as caravans that started out in Portland, Atlanta, Dallas, Madison, Weir and Tallahassee, Florida, marked their territories in hopes of changing the minds of those in Washington. We are grannies on a mission. We are outraged by the cruel and inhumane way our government is treating immigrant children and their families who have risked all to find refuge from violence and oppression. We demand, we will not be quiet while little ones are crying alone without the love of a parent to soothe them. We will not remain idle while tent cities are built to indefinitely detain families seeking safe haven in our country. Our government and our institutions do not have dominion over our morality. We the people will be the moral compass of our country, and we will not rest until compassion and decency are restored. We are traveling to McAllen, Texas, with a message of basic human decency with the hope that you will join us. We urge you to join us along the way, to create a caravan from east to west, from north to south, and grow a movement around human decency and plain common sense. We've been around long enough to know right from wrong. We've spent our lives caring for others. And we won't stand for this. You've donated. You've made calls. You've rallied. Now join the grannies. Early in the day, a small group representing those tired with Trump's separation policies stopped by a detention center in Dilley, where an infant had been held before dying days after their release. However, their requests to enter the Dilley detention center were instantly rebuffed and told they would be arrested if they didn't leave the property. Among the many community activities that Grannies Responds participated in featured assisting the recently released undocumented immigrants under ICE's detention. They were led to a site ran by the Catholic Charities so that they could bathe, pick up a backpack containing goods, food and counseling before being taken to bus stations. Before the volunteers headed out back to their homes, the group met at a center where they expanded on how they could continue their support for the undocumented that have been locked up awaiting answers and actions from the federal government. The excitement about going home is we're carrying the message to our communities, said a woman who identified herself as Beth. What we need to do is keep shining light on this problem.